All right, all you snowboarders of the internet, we're here, we're live, we're taking questions, so get them in the chat box wherever it shows up on your device. And I'm going to answer them. Super chats, get a spin of the wheel. I'm going to answer them. Super chats, get a spin of the wheel. Oh, a little feedback there, sorry. Yeah, super chats, get a spin of the wheel. We got some mystery prizes we'll give away, sticker envelope, shit like that. Hopefully everyone caught the goggle video today. Yeah, that happened. So did that. Let's see what else is going on. A little bit of snow out west. Mount Baker's supposed to get like 11 feet of snow by Saturday. That's fucking awesome as hell. So yeah, hopefully you guys got questions. We're gonna get that going. Not sure how busy it's gonna be today in here, so hoping we get more people in here. First question comes from Michael Anderson. I've been looking at Burton boards. The way the bindings fit are completely different. Is it a bad idea to use a non-Burton binding? I understand there are adapters that can be used on a Burton board. It depends what you want out of the feel of the ride on your board. So if you go with EST, they mount on the outside and it gives you more feel underfoot. So you're definitely going to be able to flex the board more. Whereas if you go with just like a standard disc under there, depending on the size of the disc, it's going to have more of a standard feel to it. You're going to have that dead spot right underfoot. Personally, I like having the dead spot right underfoot. EST is just too much board feel and it freaks me the fuck out. But it's not for everyone. But other than that, every brand that's solid should actually be able to work on an EST track. I mean, on top of the fact Signal and Endeavor are using it as well. So there is that. Okay, let's see what else we got going on. Let's see if there's any other questions in here right now. It's a little early in there. I know that some people had some goggle questions as well, so I was kind of hoping I could take those in here because I definitely missed them on the live premiere earlier. So there's that. Also, I think Alterra, which is Icon Pass, came out with on their website like what resorts are actually going to have reservation systems and what aren't. So just make sure you stay up to date on that with everything. That would be really key. I know some resorts do, some resorts don't. Some places they only have like a parking reservation system, but once you're there, you can get on the mountain. So who the fuck knows anymore? Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Undead, awesome job on the goggle video. I currently have a Smith Squad XL with ChromaPop lenses. There any sense in upgrading to a 4D mag or another top-of-the-line model with a spherical lens? That 4D mag, like, I could have done like a half-hour video on that. That is the weirdest fucking thing because the lens comes down and scoops. So when you're like staring out, you can stare straight down where the frame normally would be, and it's really fucking weird. In all honesty, every shop I've talked to that sells them, they're like, it's a marketing gimmick. It really doesn't do anything for it. I mean, if you like your Squad XLs and you're fine with them, I say just keep rolling with them. You got the ChromaPop lens in there. It's a solid lens in there. Just keep doing it, and you get a spin of the wheel, sir. Thanks to VIP. Wow, that thing abruptly stopped. That was weird. I think the ball bearing might be going bad in that. I'm not sure. So gonna have to play around and look at that. But shout out to Angry Snowboarder VIP because those guys are the guys that allowed me to do that goggle video. Seriously, I had to buy a shit ton of those fucking crap ass goggles. I feel bad because that's technically supporting those brands. Fucking good thing was I bought them all on Prime Day, so they were extra cheap. Extra cheap. I mean, I think the most I spent on a pair of goggles was like $21. It's fucking cheap. Stuff's crap. Let's see. Okay. Okay, S2000 guy. A lot of Alterra mountains, which is the Icon Pass, say not at this time for reservations, but I feel this might just be to get people away from Epic, and by the time the season starts, every mountain will then have reservations. It's going to be hit or miss. Like, I know Steamboat isn't doing anything because they're far enough away. Winter Park might have something. A-Basin does. Copper says that they don't have reservations to get on the mountain. They have reservations for parking, which more or less I feel like they're just trying to get people to fucking use public transportation, which is probably the scariest thing you could use in a pandemic. in there. Yeah, there's going to be changes. I mean, Aspen came out today. They raised the price of their locals pass. They're offering a midweek pass, and they're basically trying not to get their locals to ski on Saturdays and Sundays so the tourists can go and get up there. It's this whole year, it's like all bets are fucking off on shit. It's just going to be fucking weird at this point. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, well, let's see. Okay. Eric Jackson never rode for Solomon. At least not that I'm aware of. Ugh, okay. Let's see. Correct. Did you ride any other BC mountains that's not Whistler? No, I've only been to Whistler Blackcomb. I really don't make it north of the border that often. Okay, Ben Falk. Favorite binding technology, binding recommendation for the LibTech eject. My favorite binding technology is the fucking hinge on the K2 heel strap. How it's just like, bloop, and it's out of the way. It's the most innocuous fucking piece of technology that you could ever have, and it's great because it just gets the heel strap out of the way, and then you just tighten it down. For years, when I was riding like indies, I would rip straps off the formula. I'd rip the hinge part off so I could put it on there, so I could just have a hinge strap on there. Binding recommendations for the ejac knife, I would go with the bent metal transfer. I would look at, you got your choice of the A or the C6 from Ride. So if you want aluminum, which is a little more stiff and rigid, go with the 6. If you want it a little more playful, then go with the C, which is the composite of there, and the Rome DOD. Those would be my options for you right there. Okay. Okay, Tim S. Angry, how well will the new Black Snowboard of Death float in POW? How do you think it would compare to my Orca? And would that be too much crossover? It's not too much crossover because they're realistically two different boards with two different camber profiles. Like the Orca is going to be better at tree riding, lower angle POW, and party boarding, where that Black Snowboard of Death is going to be more precision-based, wide open POW, like really charging hard, pushing into it, and doing it. I think if those are the two boards that you really have, they kind of complement each other. Like the way, like if it's a full-blown lower POW day, but the visibility is good, so you can go to the upper mountain and, you know, shit's not going to be closed. That's where I would take the Black Snowboard of Death and just ride it as the one board for the whole day. But if it's high winds, low visibility, upper mountains closed, you're in the trees, lower angle POW, that's where the Orca would definitely come in. It would be a little bit better. Now the big thing is the Black Snowboard of Death isn't a full POW board, so it does have some limitations, but it's not going to completely suck. Okay. What else we got here? Team Torg, least favorite board of 1920. Oh, that's fucking easy. It's the Solomon 6-piece Crease Grenier Pro model. That thing is a fucking turd. So fucking dead. Rides like shit. No one should buy it. And I love that they're like, oh, we wanted to purposely make a board like the 90s. Well, you succeeded. You literally made a shitty board from the 90s. You didn't make anything even good. So fucking crap. Ugh. That board is such fucking garbage. Okay. MC Rewers, what do you think about mixing bindings and straps? I mean, do it. Fuck yeah. If you can dial in what you want performance-wise and everything matches up and you're not fucking having to like drill holes through the fucking composite or the aluminum on the fucking binding to get it to work, go for it. I used to just play mix and match straps way back in the day. I used to take, hell, I was still doing it just even a few years ago with my K2 Indies. I was ripping formula straps and high backs off of them just so that I could build, because they didn't have the 3-degree canting that the formula had, so I could have a flat-based binding with everything else from the formula, so I didn't have to deal with the fucking canting in there because that shit was hurting my knees. Do it. Play around. Like, I firmly believe that people need to go DIY on a lot of stuff. Like, that's something I used to always do with my snowboard gear, and the more you can do that, the more you're going to learn how to tune your gear and tweak your gear and dial your gear in and repair your gear, the more self-sustainable you will be as a person, and the more in tune you are with just what kind of gear you need. That is such a big thing. So, yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's see what else we got going on here. Answering that question. Let's see. PSA for my boy, the healthy snowboarder. Let's go get the season. Let's go. The season is around the corner. A-Basin opens in a few in October. No reservations for season pass holders, which I am one. So am I. I'm so excited for that. They put the snow guns up Sunday night into Monday. Maybe it was Tuesday. Drove by. Anyways, the guns are fucking set up. So we're just waiting on temps to drop, and then they can start making snow. Same thing with Loveland. I'm super excited about this. So, yeah. Tremendous Johnson, do you have an affiliate link for Remind Insoles? Maybe? I'm not sure. I mean, if you see them on a store, you can always just click, like if Evo carries them, which I think they do, or maybe it's Backcountry, you just click the Backcountry link and search it. I'll still get credit for that in there. I know on the Boot Fitting 101 videos, which I haven't updated the affiliate links on there, but I know I had a link for them on Amazon in the aftermarket insole video, so they might be there as well. So there's that. Yeah, I don't know. And for anyone that's wondering what a Remind insole is, it's an aftermarket insole for your snowboard boots. If you have snowboard boots and you're rolling stock insoles, pull that shit out, throw them away. They're fucking garbage. Get aftermarket insoles. It'll make the world of difference in your snowboarding. So yeah. All right. What else we got going on here? Bradley Hankus, is it really bad that I didn't cover my boards in a thick layer of wax when the season ended? No. I mean, unless you're storing it in a fucking room full of moisture and it's just soaking around, the edges are rusting and shit. Fuck it, who cares? Just take a Brillo pad, go around your edges, just take any of that surface rust off, you're fine, go ride. Okay. So I know we got a few more people tuning in. So if you're just tuning in, get your questions in the chat box. I'm going to try to answer them. Super chats, get a spin of the wheel. You got chances to win prizes like stickers, mystery prize packs, which could be anything from like wax and mounting hardware all the way up to like hoodies and shit. It kind of just depends what I pull out for the day and what mood I'm really feeling in. So, I mean, just a big fucking box. I reach in and just pull them out. I don't even know what's in them. I have to go and like check my notes that I have written down. So everything's different. Okay, let's see. Ked MC, thoughts on Modest goggles? They're fucking Amazon goggles. That's all they are. They're slapping their name. Better marketing than the shit Amazon companies, but not incrementally any better. It's a fucking stamped lens, nothing special, goggle company, Alibaba Express. That's it. Like, cool. They got a pro team, so it's like culturally they're a little bit better than an Amazon brand, but they're not anything spectacular. Which also, for anyone that watched the video, there's a lot of technology I left out of that video. I was trying to get a point across. At one point, I think the video was up to like 47 minutes, and I was able to cut it down to 24. So, yeah, got that going for us. Let's see. Okay, Greg Budfish, can you just sleep in your car in a resort parking lot if you're not a dick about it, or is that just being a dick regardless? It depends on the resort. Some of them like lock the gates to the parking and stuff. Some places will let you. Some places have overnight parking, but I think you have to pay like $7, $7 to $10, something like that. It really depends where you are. Every place is fucking different. Some places literally don't give a shit. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure this dude was living in a snow cave at Copper in his car. Like, he just kept digging like a porthole to just get to his car and climb in. And the thing was just kept getting plowed and plowed and plowed in. So really depends. Okay. So let's see what else we got going on here. Tremendous Johnson, what about burn goggles? Burn goggles are, I think they're using the old molds that Drop used. Don't quote me on that. I'm just trying to remember. I mean, they're probably like a more of a mid-level goggle, so they're on par with like a Drop in there. Certain models of Spy, shit like that. You know, they're nothing super fucking fancy. So, yeah. Let's see. Did I miss anything? Okay. Caught up on those questions. Let's see. Well, anyways, if you're just tuning in, you got questions, get them in that chat box. We're going to just try to get those answered for you guys. See, we're up to 61 people in here. Hopefully, we can get up over 100 like we usually do. I know it takes some time for people to catch on. So, yeah. Jason R., soft flexing boots better for the park. They allow for more ankle articulation, which allows for an ease of tweak of grabs and to really manipulate your ankle. So, if you're like really skate inspired and stuff, grip skateboarding and you're gymming, you can flex your ankles and get out over the boot. It really allows for that. Now, with that, you end up losing power and drive from the boot. So, what you're doing is you're over flexing that boot to just get it in, to get it up and put the board on edge to do everything in there. So, a lot of personal preference. Like, I ride a super stiff boot for just everything because I want my ankles just completely locked in. And that includes going in the park, hitting jumps, jibbing, and playing around, buttering. I just like that response. I like to know that it's there. But I've got friends that literally, they buy a soft boot and they don't even lace it above the instep. Pretty much like right at the ankle is where they tie it off and leave the top of the boot open. And then their ankle can just like flop around and shit. And so there is that. You got to kind of find your personal preference. I mean, and also remember, if you're buying a super soft boot, it's only going to get softer as you ride it. Like that's going to be as stiff as it is from day one, unless you really do some custom work to it. So it's just going to progressively get softer. So ask yourself, if you're like a 20, 40, 60, 80 day a year rider, do you really want to start off with something that's soft that's only going to get softer as the day progresses? So yeah. Okay, Kung Fu Haggis, sup angry? I have Nitro Team Pro bindings. Is there enough of a difference to justify buying Union Contact Pros? Yes. So the Team Pro is going to be way stiffer than the Contact Pro. Plus the Contact Pro, the way the shaping on the base is, it has more lateral play in it. It's a more of a surfy binding where you can just really flex into it out and over, where the Team is a little more precision based and it's a little bit more rigid underfoot. So you have more drive and downward pressure and power going to your toe and your heel, and less lateral play like you would on the Contact Pro. So overall, it's a more precise and power-driven binding versus a more playful binding. So like if you got like an all-mountain freestyle board that's your do everything, that's where you put the Team Pro. And then if you get like a jib board or a party board, something you want to be playful, laid back on, that's where the Contact Pro would actually go in. Okay. Oh, this is a good one from Vanessa Tracy. I don't have much experience riding POW outside of a maritime climate. Anything I should consider before buying a new all-mountain board for this year? So the big thing is, because she just moved to Montana. So Montana's got a drier POW in there. So the bigger thing to know, you're still going to get a decent amount of snow. Their snow is actually heavier than what we get here in Colorado. But going from coastal heavy snow to a more dry snow is your base structure can actually play a huge part in that. So talk to your local tune shop guys that you got there and just make sure that you get a good crosshatch pattern in there so that because you don't have that moisture content in there. So, you don't need as aggressive of a structure. You just need something like that. There's that. The other thing that I find with that is anything that's got a little bit more rocker in the nose and more camber off the back foot so you can really press into it and elevate that rocker. It does basically anything that can help get that nose up. And it can be said about coastal snow, the same thing, but you don't need anything that's crazy stiff in the nose because that snow is lighter, so it's not pushing into it really hard and heavy. So basically anything that can help accentuate that. It takes probably a good 3 to 5 days of riding lighter weight POW to get used to it. The other big thing is you're going to hit more rocks. With that maritime snow, it packs onto everything. So when you sink down, it just compresses and it's like a springboard or foam in there. When you're in drier snow, you sink straight to the bottom and hit rocks. When I moved from Washington to Steamboat, so when I left Stevens Pass and went to Steamboat, I went from like super crazy coastal heavy snow to some of the lightest powder. I mean, they call it champagne powder. They trademark the term. And I kept sinking to the bottom and just hitting ground. And I was just core shotting everything. So just kind of get used to that. It's one of those things where you're just like, I'm just going to fucking destroy this base possibly in the early season. Like mid-season, you'll probably be fine. But you just got to watch out for everything being a little more rocky and stuff in there. So, yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay, where were we? D-Rick. Hey, Avran, I have mid-range Solomon goggles. Do you think they aren't bad at least? So the thing, like Solomon K2, Rosinal, they all do goggles. And they're proprietary to them, but they know how to source from a better factory, or they have brand deals or partnerships with people. They know how to source technology and do stuff like that. I think they're a better mid-level goggle. They're definitely better than buying some cheap shit off Amazon. That's for sure. They're better than those fucking outdoor masturbators. So, it's fuck these things. So much better than these piles of crap. I saved half the fucking outdoor master goggle because I thought it was funny after I destroyed them. Which, this is hilarious. Like the magnet literally has come out of the frame and stuff on there. But yeah, any of those brands that are doing that, I mean, they're better. They don't really market them that much outside the U.S. or inside the U.S. Outside the U.S., it's like a better thing. It's one of those things like, I remember when K2 started doing goggles, I was like, you guys are doing goggles? And they're like, we don't even push it. We don't even talk about it. Like, we sell it to rental shops type of thing. So, yeah. Okay, so let's see what we got here. All right, where were we? Okay, let's see. Oh, God. Fenrir Hunniset. Hi, Avran. Are Dragon goggles actually decent or just hype? They're decent. I own 3 pairs. That's what I ride. Yeah. So, Lumalens. I have PVXs, NFX2s, something else. Their stuff's pretty solid. I really like the Lumalens. It works well when you're getting into different light contrasts and like the clouds are coming in and out. They're my personal favorites. They fit my face the best too. So, yeah, they're just overall a good goggle in general. So pretty much any of the big brands that actually support snowboarding. So you look at your Oakleys, your Smiths, your Dragons, Von Zippers, Spy, Giro, Anon, Ashbury. Those are like all pretty legit, and you can kind of see that because they actually invest in technology. They're always trying to push their frames. They're trying to see what they can do. They're expanding. If you look at it and they're like they have their own frame and their own style, and it's new, and you can't find anyone else copying it. It's pretty solid. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, OBSF. Hey, dude, just got a Razi Sushi. I'm currently riding Malavitas and some rear entry K2 bindings on my Orca and Super Pig. What bindings am I missing that I could interchange between all 3 boards? I can't believe you're riding rear entry K2 bindings. Those are the fucking absolute worst. They actually hinder lateral flex because of the way the hinge sits in there and create a pinch point. They're fucking garbage. You should have gotten flow over those. But let's see. So Sushi, Orca, Super Pig. Here's what you got Malavitas and those rear entries. This is what I would do. Swap out those rear entry K2s for a set of K2 lean ATs. And that way you can pull the heel block out and swap out the pods on the bottom if you want it to be more surfy or more precision based, which on the Sushi, you'd want it to be more surfy. On the Orca, kind of in the middle. Super Pig, dealer's choice on that. But personally, I'd leave the heel block in that lean AT, keep it a little bit stiffer so you could really drive with it and rip carbs. I think that kind of answers that question. Rick James, hey man, what's your opinion on the Captain DOA? I really liked that they revamped the 2020, not DOA. I haven't been on the 2021 yet, but they revamped it. They made it better. It's actually a solid park board compared to what it was. I really like the way that it's been riding in there. I actually have a full review of it in the Capita Snowboard review playlist. So if you want to check out what I actually have to say in the review, that'll give you way more in depth than I can give you right here. Also, I see we're up to 82 people in here. If you got questions, get them over in the chat or down in the chat, whatever you're on. I'm going to try to do it. If you super chat, you get a spin of the wheel. We're giving away sticker envelopes and mystery prize packs today. So there we go. And for Olive, we have, what are your thoughts on the Zeal goggles? Zeal actually has really good tech, and in the last few years, they've rebranded everything. They finally got away from all that recon tech that they were kind of known for because they were like pushing that augmented reality bullshit in there. They have Carl Zeiss lenses. They're super solid. I think their frames are solid. That's another brand that actually gives back to snowboarding. They actually invest in their technology, so I think they're really, really solid. Ooh, Anton Clark, Surfer versus Camel 2. Oh, man, that's two great battalion boards right there. So this is the way I'd look at this. If you're going to go the battalion route, the 3BT, and you're looking for pow, the Surfer is great for steep and deep, wide open blower pow days, whereas the Camel 2 is you're still going to be ripping a groomer every now and then, ripping a carve where you have to, getting in the trees, really pushing it. It's got a better tail for springing out of. Oh, I dropped my magnets. And, it's got a better tail for springing out of and stuff. But the Surfer will definitely be better in deeper snow. That swallowtail really works well. It comes down to, like, what type of riding you're really doing in there. Jason Whiteman, thoughts about the 2021 Libtech Swiss Knife and Libtech TRS. Okay, so the TRS basically got an overhaul this year. I need to ride it and see, because I know that they basically merged like the hot knife into the TRS, and there's a regular, I think, and an HP, or it's all just HP. I can't remember off the top of my head in there. I've never been a real big fan of the TRS. Like, I can get on it and I can have a decent day, but it never is like this board that's like, oh my God, I had a fucking great day on it. And the same is kind of said about the Swiss Knife. The Swiss Knife is basically the same thing as what the Mueller was. It's got a few little tweaks to it, but if you're looking to rip a hard carve, you still want it to be decent in pow. It's more camber dominant. It's going to have pop. That's kind of where you go with that thing in there. Personally, I think the Libtech line is just too bloated and they have a lot of overlap with their boards, and then they keep adding fucking different camber profiles to everything. So that's kind of everything. So yeah. Okay, here we go. Christian Grzybowski. Hey, Avran, I have an Evil Twin and I really hate it, especially in hard snow. Which boards you recommend for a guy that likes to have only one snowboard for everything? Pop, playfulness, pow, whatever. So you're looking at an all-mountain freestyle board. You need to get away from 3BT. That's what you're actually hating because the contact points are so elevated. You're not getting that dig out at the tip and the tail. It's moved back more underfoot from the 3BT, so it's like right at the inserts, and it changes the whole dynamic of how you drive that board. So I think what you would ideally be better off going with, all-mountain freestyle boards that are still a little playful. So you're looking at Capita Mercury, #1 choice, favorite in that category right there. I'd look at a Yes Typo as well, or a Ride Algorithm. And I think that gives you 3 choices right there. The Algorithm will be the most expensive. The Typo will have a little bit different edge hold just because of the way that they do their side cut. They revamped the Mercury for 2021 and put Death Grip on it, which when you center flex that board and you're coming out of a carve and the nose is elevated, that's where you're going to really notice. And the Algorithm just all around is just a great board. It's just a little bit more expensive. So those are the 3 options that I'd really look at. Okay. Tom Morton, should you size down on the nitro dropout? I'm a 155 generally. I mean, I really wouldn't. It's not really a volume shift board for downsizing on. I think I wrote, the 56 in it for the review that I did on it. I really like that board. stick close to your true size on that. Like, don't upsize, don't downsize. Just stick with what you know. So if you're 55, I'd say like I think it's the 56 is the next size, and then it's like a 53 down or something like that. Try to stick with what's near the 55 for you. If you only have to go up a centimeter, I think you'll be fine with that. Okay. All right. Let's see. Got a few more questions in here. Michael Bellevue just got the Sashimi XV and the Rosnell Sashimi XV board and recommends the Razi Cobra Black, but I doubt it would be good. What do you recommend? Whatever you do, don't fucking buy Razi bindings. They're garbage. They're straight fucking garbage. They need an overhaul. For the Sashimi, bindings that I would actually look at would be like the Bent Metal Transfer, Union Strata, or the Force. I really wouldn't put an Atlas on there. Rome Katana or DOD, I think the DOD would be a better matchup over the Katana, even though I think the Katana is like a more versatile binding. The DOD is a better workhorse. The Burton Cartel also comes to mind. And you could do like a Now IPO, maybe a Recon on there from them. So, yeah, give you a few options there. Void, which high-end goggle is the best bang for your buck? So I mentioned that in the goggle video I dropped today. Basically, buy a last year's goggle. There are so many good high-end, like $200 goggles right now being blown out for like between 45 and 65% off, depending where you look. And with that said, I mean, your Oakleys, your Smiths, your Anons, Dragons, Giro, Von Zipper, Electric, Zeal, Ashbury. Those are the brands I'd be looking at in there. It comes down to it. I mean, personally, I think in that video, I've got links to like some line miners and maybe some air brakes and stuff from Oakley that are like 45 or more % off. I think they're selling for like around $100. I think that's really good bang for the buck. You get good optical quality, optical purity, and just good eye protection from them. So definitely check that video out if you haven't, or check the links in the bottom of that video. Chico Dirguj, talking base structures. A local shop suggested a structure that plows the snow versus slicing through it. They said it helps with float and hot pod. Does that sound right? The only way that would sound right is that they messed up the terminology, but what they're doing is they're creating such an angled crosshatch that it's designed to be more pointed and it funnels out to the sides. So it's a deeper one that would funnel. So I think, what is that, like maybe 87 or 86 degree angle, something like that. You have to really nerd out on it to get it to do that. It just sounds like their description, or maybe you butchered it telling it to me in this question, isn't quite right, but what their idea is that it gives more angulation to it to funnel it back out to the sides, and that way it will just do that, which, yes, that would make sense. Okay. Okay, Vincent Dude, just tried a pair of Ride Sano in a 43.5. Toes almost touch a tiny bit of the front. Side seams almost spot on. They don't carry a 43. Would a half-size step down squeeze the sides too much? I don't think the Insano is what they call a one-to-one lasting. So the 43 and the 43.5 are actually the exact same shell and liner in there. It's the insert, the footbed insert actually sits higher. So pull that stock insert out. Fucking, it's garbage. Put an aftermarket insole in there, and you're probably going to just be fine with it. And that's really what you need. Get the liner heat molded, because they do have an Intuition liner in there, and you're going to be good to go. So yeah, let's see. Caught up on those. Okay. Alan Poon, what are your thoughts on no back bindings? I'm not a fan of having no high back on the binding because it puts so much stress back on the boot. So you're putting all that stress in the back spine, and back in the day when they had no backs, it was so you could get that play back there, and the boots really had no back spines, you know. So what you're dealing with now is without that high back, you're putting all that pressure back there. You can crack the back spine of the boot. Obviously not with the ride because urethane construction. These things actually hold their shape better, but you end up like with weird creases in there, and it can affect it. I get where people are going with it, that it'll give you a more surfy feel. The other thing is it actually changes how the boot sits in the binding because it ends up sitting more back because it's lost that space in there. So if you don't have a heel spacer in there, then you got to readjust all your straps, get everything in there, and then centering that boot on the board, it tends to actually lend itself to be a little more heel heavy than toe heavy, just from centering perspective. So yeah, let's see. Okay. Oh, yeah. We got a PSA from Vincent Dew. Nitro is giving away a snowboard. They are on Instagram. I put it in the Instagram stories, but basically, at Nitro USA, all you have to do is tag 2 people in the comments section, and you're entered to win a Nitro Team snowboard. Fuck it. All you got to do is tag 2 people, and you can win a snowboard. Go fucking do it. It's a free snowboard. Why wouldn't you? Also, I think GoPro is giving away the new GoPro 9. Heldor was promoting that as well, and I think it was the same thing, like tag 2 people. Just make sure that you follow GoPro and Heldor, and you're going to win something. So if you want a GoPro, this is the time of the year. Contests are coming out for you guys, so you should be taking advantage of that. So, yeah. Ooh, okay. Scott Sutherland, solid intermediate all-mountain board for icy East Coast riding. LibTech Terrain Wrecker or the GNU Anti-Gravity. That way you get the Magna traction. The Jones Frontier, the Rosinal 1LF, and let's see what else. I feel like I should throw one more in there for you. Oh, why the hell not? We'll throw the Captain Mercury on that list as well. So there you go. There is your list, Scott. So we're up to 100 people in here. If you're just tuning in, you got questions, get them in the chat. I'm going to try to answer them. Super chats, get a spin of the wheel. You can win prizes. You can win sticker envelopes. Like I sent out a ton last week, so hopefully some people start doing this, winning it. So, all about that. Hopefully you guys watch the goggle video too. If you're just tuning in, maybe you got some questions on goggles. I know that was a big, lengthy video. It's probably one of my longest ones I've done in a while at 24 minutes, but was really just trying to educate people and to try to stop them from buying outdoor masturbator and devolving as snowboarders. Because remember, at Angry Snowboarder, we're trying to make you better snowboarders. We won't make you better at snowboarding. We'll just make you better snowboarders. Don't be a person that snowboards. Be a snowboarder. Also, if you haven't, we got new merchandise. We put it up last week on angrysnowboarderstore.com. So if you're looking for hats, beanies, hoodies, T-shirts, baseball tees, stuff like that. Also working on a couple new graphics. Doing one specifically for Colorado as a joke. It's a parody of the Austin 316, but it says Angry I-70 on there. So we're playing around with that as well, working on stuff. So hopefully there'll be some new merchandise dropping in there. And if you need personal advice, also I do have the Snowboard Sherpa Shopper, personal shopper for you, where I will guide you through buying your gear, answering all your questions, giving you links to different affiliates, finding you deals if you need it, stuff like that. So check that out if you guys need that. Okay. James Leone, I'm a major fan of the Katana. I haven't ridden them since they changed them up a bit last year. Do you like the changes they made to the high backs and the toe caps? So the toe caps are actually way better. They really drastically. This is actually a super grippy toe strap. It does not come off. It just stays perfectly locked down. I really enjoy this. The high back, for the most part, most people probably really won't notice too much of a difference in there, unless you're a really crazy field nerd and you're just dialed in so much. Other than that, I think it makes sense. It works. It does what it needs to do. Katana is a great binding. I ride the Black Label, which is basically the big brother to that, and it's $550, and it's very bougie. And evidently, I'm super bougie because I have 3 pairs of them. So yeah, probably not for everyone. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, One Nation Under Nothing wants to spin of the wheel. Man, what the heck is going on with the wheel here? Oh, you got the middle finger. You got the middle finger. That's rough. That's rough. Ouch. Ouch. Okay, what else we got here? Ooh, Ivan Drago. Toe caps are sexy. They are a little sexy if you want them to be. Remember, fire cures everything. Genital warts, herpes, chlamydia, getting rid of bodies. Just, the wheel wants you to know that fire cures everything. So, yeah. All right. Okay, Alan Poon. Is Gore-Tex really worth the extra money, and are there other companies that make similar tech? I'm not a fan of Gore-Tex. It makes you slimy as fuck. It's not as breathable. I mean, it makes sense if you like live someplace where it's really wet or it's going to rain. It does work, but it lacks breathability in my opinion. There's other stuff. There's like the Rona stuff, and then there's the 49 North or 4372 or some bullshit number like that. There's other stuff. There's brands that do have like a tech-based like coating that they put into stuff and it works. Really just got to read up on things and figure it out for yourself. If you can go in a shop and ask them if you take like a little water bottle, if you can just drip a little water on it to see how it beads off. Some shops are cool with it. Some shops freak the fuck out. Most of the time I've always found shops, if I just explain to them, be like, I just need to see how this beads off. I will not make a mess. I will clean everything up. I'm definitely buying it. They're usually pretty cool about that. So yeah. William Avery, is it really necessary to turn your high back to match the edge of the board? No. Here's my theory on this. I don't do it. And this is why. All right, so if this is your binding, you're facing this way. When you bend back, you're putting all that pressure right back into the high back, right? So you're going to put it. Why would you turn that and then only be pushing on the outside of the high back, changing the force that you're going to put on there? It's not going to give you that power and drive. When you're matching that up, yeah, okay, when you laterally flex into it, it's there, I guess. If you need that much lateral flex, why don't you just put a fucking wing on your high back or buy a winged high back at that point? It just doesn't make sense to me, and I feel like it's one of those things where people are like, this is going to just drastically change shit, and I'm just like, yeah, but then you're losing all that straight power transmission right back into the high back that pushes down into the heel cup and into the heel and then gets you up on your heel edge. So, no, I definitely don't think you need to rotate your high backs. Okay, where were we? Okay, Alex F. Thanks for advice on bindings for my black snowboard to death. Ended up ordering the Atlas. Really appreciate it. Hey, no worries, man. Glad we could get that straightened around for you. Let's give you a spin of the wheel. All right. Remember to vote, people. Remember to vote. The election's coming. Vote. Hopefully you guys vote to protect so we don't have climate change so we can keep snowboarding because I want to be able to snowboard in 40 years. But that's me. 42 years, I'll be 80. I'll probably actually be dead. So men don't live past 77, 78 in my family. So, I'm in my midlife. I should go buy a Ferrari. Okay. Let's see. All right. Joycey, how often do you use the leather balm on your Hestras? I have a pair, but I don't know how often I should rub that stuff in there. So I'm actually working on a video for you guys with the neck wax and the gloves and how to leather treat them. Ideally, you really do want to leather treat your gloves if they are leather every year before the start of the season. So, I'm going to show a video on how you do that. But basically, you squirt it in the palm and you just rub it all over, and it looks like an elephant jizzed in your hand. And you basically just have your gloves on and you're rubbing them together, just massaging that into every glove. And then from there, you're good to go. That's realistically it. So I think people definitely should be leather treating their gloves, taking care of that. But that's one of the videos I'm working on. I can do a video on how to base clean your board eventually, how to pack a snowboard bag. Let's see what else I got going on. And then I got some more explained videos and whatnot. All right, Billy Ray Valentine, hashtag Proletariat Ferrari. Yes, Proletariat Ferrari. What is this thing? This thing's being all funky today. What's going on here? All right, let's see what we got here. There we go. wear your mask. Wear your mask. So there. Okay. And Christian Grzyzbowski wants everyone to know snowboarding in Greece is not dead. That's right. Snowboarding in Greece is not dead. They actually have a thriving snowboard community. Sometimes they reach out to me and send me videos. I watch them. They're decent. So there you go. Middle finger. Middle finger. Okay. All right. Okay, Michael Kulig. Any info on the Spectral, Braid, and Glass Nose on the Alchemist are all about carryover R&D from the ski side. So, talking about the K2 Alchemist. So, what the Braid is basically when you look at that weaving or that crosshatched of carbon that's in there, that's all that's talking about. It's the fiberglass and how it works with the actual carbon in there and stuff. So back in the day, K2 used to have this thing called torsion box on their skis, and they actually had a machine, and so like the core would go through, and then it would weave the fiberglass around the core in there. They're actually really prolific with working on stuff like that and expanding and driving things forward with it, and that's really what they're doing here with the Alchemist. I need to ride it. The goal this weekend is to email all my reps and hopefully start getting product in the next 2 weeks. Excuse me, so that we can get out and do more reviews. And yes, there's going to be a ton more reviews. Like once we can actually get shit rolling and we can actually have a snowboard season, like the goal is I basically got to do like 100 and something reviews and catch up on everything I wasn't able to do because of the Rona. So yeah, there's that. Let's see. Okay. Where were we? Vincent, dude. Goggles video is the bomb. Fuckhouse wasn't grilled that bad, but the info is solid as fuck. Learned so much. Thanks. Yeah. At one point, I think I had 48 gigabytes of footage to go through to cut that goggle video down. There's a whole bunch of fuckhouse in front of the green screen shit that I did, and that might show up in other videos, might not. You never know. So that I needed to get that point across, and any of you people that are like dual fans and whatever, and support him and support me and whatever. He needs to have that video pushed on him so he can actually learn what the fuck he's talking about. So he's not over there just telling people, buy this cheap piece of $39.99 bullshit. I'm Jimmy Fuckhouse. I mean, seriously, like, the guy doesn't fucking know what the fuck he's talking about. And he's literally hurting snowboarding. He's hurting people physically and doesn't even know it. He's a grifter. That's all he is. I don't care. Fuck him. He's not a fucking real snowboarder. He's a person that snowboards and takes advantage of people. The end of the day, if he died, the snowboard industry wouldn't even notice he was gone. If I died, they'd be like, holy fuck, we lost our #1 reviewer in the world. Which is funny. Someone actually shot me a DM and said that I didn't do anything for snowboarding. And I thought that was the funniest thing I've read in a long time. He was like, I was calling it, because Tim Humphries has been just nailing accounts that are stealing his content because they're not using it. They're not giving him credit and shit, which is a whole other thing. So I just, posted something. I was like, call these accounts, report them, do that. Like I normally do with like Rurock. I always report Rurock and shitty goggle companies. And this guy hit me up and he's like, you don't do anything for snowboarding. And I was like, oh, really? I don't do anything for snowboarding. So the fucking 200 and something $1,000 worth of product I moved last year, the 2 million views that I got for people to buy reviews didn't do anything. And it just got me thinking that I was like, wow, these people are so fucking dense. Like I always say, like, snowboarding owes you nothing. You owe it everything. And that's fine with me. Like it doesn't. Snowboarding will never owe me anything. Like I'm happy that I'm making money, but if I had to still be working a real job and hating my life to do this, I'd still do it. Like I don't care. Like I love it. Most days I love it and do all this, but it's so funny when people are like, you're just taking and you don't do anything. And I'm sitting here thinking, this guy, he was like going on about how I didn't do anything. And I was like, okay, so I donated $15,000 worth of product to the Shred Foundation, $5,000 to Lauren Weibert for a fundraiser so she could go win gold for slopestyle in the Deaf Olympics. the amount of people that have just gotten free boards, because just so everyone knows, randomly sometimes I'll just leave a full setup somewhere and just be like, whoever gets it has it. I don't even care. Like, I'll just fucking leave it. Like, I do that. I leave shit. So I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? And it's so funny because this guy was like trying to tell me that I got called out on the bomb hole and podcast, which I was like, I don't even give a fuck. That shit doesn't even faze me. My numbers are good. I know what I'm doing. It's a whole different thing. Oh, wow. So Stan from Snowboarder Mag fucking called me out. The dude's fucking promoting articles from Men's Health on Snowboarder Mag. Like, sorry, dude, you're owned by the National Enquirer. You didn't create something from scratch. And it's just so funny when I see shit like that. I'm like, these people fucking suck. It's like they're just people that snowboard and try to take advantage of it, and they're not really snowboarders. Okay. Anyways, let's take some questions here. Okay. All right, where were we? Okay. Waco asks, I've always wondered how much work you put in the editing process and scripting. I guess the whole thing. Scripting is actually really minimal. I don't really script everything. Everything's in my head. That's just how I am. I'm very much like Morton Downey Jr. I have an audiographic and photographic memory, so I can remember audiographic and everything. So like I just remember things, and I'll just like boom, and it comes right out. It's a blessing and a curse. So I do that. The editing. So filming through editing for a top 5 video. Through everything. So I write the list down of what it's going to be for the most part. I just write it down so like I can pull, like I come up with like 10 things and then I can just pull what I think is funny. And then I just rattle off like the shit that kind of goes in there. But so I go through that shit and do it. But start to finish, it takes about anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes of filming. Then I upload the footage. Then I start editing. I can usually edit a top 5 video in about 20 minutes. And then that's done. Snowboard reviews, it's like go ride it, come back, write the review, film the review, edit the review. So like riding is a couple hours, and then you got the writing process, which about 15, 20 minutes usually while I'm eating dinner. I do that. Filming process for review is about 20 to 30 minutes per video, and then editing, it takes me about 20 to 25 minutes to do it, because I just have everything, like I have a process of everything is always filmed one take in process, and I do everything. The goggle video, that took a lot longer because I had to go film me shooting it, I had to film me cutting it, I had to film me talking about it, I had to film me after cutting it, talking about it, Jimmy Fuckhouse in there, and that was 48 gigs of footage, and then upload it, go through, catalog, cut and cut and cut and cut. I mean, at one point that edit was 40 something minutes long, and then I cut it down to 24 minutes. I spent about 7 hours actually editing that. That one was probably the longest time I've spent in years editing anything. The more you edit, the faster everything can be. The big thing that for me is, like I said, it's that audiographic and photographic memory that I have. So I can just be like, boom, 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 boom. I can just rattle that stuff right off. And a lot of this is it's like, I just learned this stuff and I'm just like, oh, okay, it's there. And then I retain that knowledge. And so you do that. Ask me how to balance a checkbook, I'm fucked. But ask me stupid questions about a fucking snowboard from 20 years ago, and I probably know the fucking answer because I wrote it. So super fucking weird like that. But the whole process in itself is like you do spend a lot of time. But and the other thing is like you don't have a consistent paycheck with things. So what I hope for when I do a review video is like my goal is that it needs to make about $30 on YouTube. Okay, so $30, that's basically $10 an hour to ride the board and write the review and do it. Okay, that's $30, that did it. Then I'm banking that you guys click through the affiliate and I get the 8% commission on that. So let's just say I make $40 from there. So okay, so I made $70 off that review. Cool. If I can get two or three people to click the affiliate, if it basically makes about $100 a review, I feel that I've made my money's worth for it. But I mean, there was one year I think I was making like $1 a review, and now I'm making like $100 a review, and it's just a whole fucking process in itself. But yeah, so Anyways. Okay. All right. Where were we? Ivan Drago, are you Rain Man? I'm probably on the spectrum somewhere. Thanks to Angry Snowboarder VIP for helping fund everything we do. But no, I'm definitely not Dustin Hoffman from Rain Man. I'm more like Ben Stiller from Tropic Thunder and Simple Jack, which is the worst. The worst. All right, let's see what we got here. STCC, should I play One is the Loneliest Number on my 100+ day season on loop? Yes, that should be the only song you listen to and ride solo the whole year. That's it. That's all you're going to do. So, okay. Okay, what do we got? One Nation Under Nothing. James Beastie from The Good Ride recently adopted a prize wheel in his YouTube chats. Of course he did. I have the original snowboarding super chat Wheel of Mediocrity. In case anyone hasn't realized, that dude straight up just copies everything I do. Like, I have to start it, and then he comes in after the fact. He's a fucking ball clinger. Like, that dude's a fucking hemorrhoid. That's what he is. He's a fucking hemorrhoid. That's literally it. You know? So, he's a pile of suck. And I'm waiting for more people in snowboarding to jump on this thing. Like, I think it's a great idea. That's why I wanted to like expand and have a Plinko board and do other things. But this thing is just pure comedic gold more than anything. But yeah, The Good Ride. I love that he was like, he made a post and he was like, I have to go edit my videos. And I was like, your videos show you actually turning the damn camera on and turning it off. There's no editing. It's just you fumbling around like a monkey fucking a football for 10 minutes going, chug some Alfredo sauce. Jimbo comes in, makes some homophobic statement, and then looks like a troglodyte monkey fucker. And then, you know, they go from there. Like, seriously, if you think the Good Ride reviews provide anything, go read the fucking product description of a board and look at the stats, and there you go. It's the exact same thing. That dude literally has no fucking comprehension about anything he's doing. Like, he's the fucking worst. Like, the snowboard industry, they just tolerate him because he was one of those people that was around at a certain time. But other than that, he's fucking worthless. Like, fucking 2 laps on a board and you get a review at a demo day. Fucking watch the videos of him. He's gotten better at riding, I'll give him that, but he's still back foot dominant the whole way down. Everything is off the back, as he claims. Well, yeah, if you ride with all your weight back because you don't know how to engage by actually steering into it, fuck it. Fuck that guy. Anyways, if you're just tuning in, you got questions, get them in the chat box. Super Chat's good to spin in the wheel. We're giving away a bunch of prizes. We're going to try to take a few more questions. Been here about an hour now. We'll see if we can make it to 2 hours today. It's been a long day. I didn't sleep well, as you can see. Had the insomnias. Watched The Color of Money with Paul Newman and Tom Cruise. Was trying to figure out if Tom Cruise's teeth were fake or real in that movie. This is what I do at 3 in the morning. Okay. Okay. S. Highland, I sent cash for stickers. Am I in trouble? Fan from Slightest Angry. No, I got your thing, and it was like, what the fuck is this? Your envelope went out yesterday, so my guess is you'll probably have it either tomorrow, if not Monday. So yeah. Let's see. Okay. What else we got up here? Okay, Keenan Leader. Hey, Avran, thanks for keeping it real. I ride northern Idaho, eastern Washington, and southeast British Columbia. My daily driver is losing its pop. I was thinking of a ride Wildlife if you rode one. I haven't ridden the Wildlife, but it's basically a downgraded Berserker. In all honesty, unless you're just an intermediate rider progressing, you should probably actually bump up to something a little bit beefier than the Wildlife. And if you are looking at the Wildlife, I'd probably say go look at like the Berserker or even the Super Pig. Those would be what I would look at from them. Otherwise, for where you're riding, I'd recommend like a Jones Mountain Twin, maybe a niche Maelstrom if you want something that's a little more free ride focused. Even the Capita Black Snowboard of Death would probably be really solid for up there. So you got options for boards. So let's see. Okay, I think we're caught up on those. Let's see. Michael Kulik, Solomon going to send you an ultimate rod. Looks much different this year. Bodie changing things up. I think that one got an overhaul. I got to email my rep down in Denver and see if he's got anything available for me to grab, but it is on the list, as well as the dance hall. There's a few other boards from them. I want to like more of that Hillside Project stuff I want to get in on. So, yeah. Let's see. What else we got going on here? Ahmed Ali, thoughts on the quality of boards from High Tide Manufacturing? I like the High Tide boards. They're a little stiffer and they're a little bit heavier. They end up, they have a thicker core and a little bit more epoxy and glass in them, so they do ride a little bit stiffer. But they're rippers. They're really designed for coastal snowpack because they will just push through that. But I was impressed in the 4 that I got to ride from them, and I actually should reach out to Akasha, the owner, and try to get a few more from him. It's been a while. I know there's old reviews. I don't even know if they're video reviews. They might be written reviews on angrysnowboarder.com, which, by the way, if you can't find a video review, there's probably an older written review on angrysnowboarder.com. There's 12 years of content on that website. And I mean, there's got to be at least 1,000 reviews on there at some point. So, Waco, thoughts on David Jones? Hold on, getting the popcorn. Who? Davy Jones? Wasn't he one of the monkeys? Isn't he dead? Oh, wait, was that Mickey Dolenz? No, Mickey Dolenz is still alive. But yeah, I don't care. Yeah. Steezy C, what's the most gimmicky tech you've come across besides a pivoting base plate? The snowboarding powder foil that mounted on the nose of your board, which would help funnel powder off your nose and elevate it up so that you could ride POW better. Basically, it was a fucking spoiler for the nose of your board, and you had to drill it into the board. If you're not knowing how to lean back and flex your board, nothing else is going to fucking help you. At all. Ever. Oh my God. There's just so much crap. Like, these stupid ideas. Or my favorite were the suspension bindings that came out. I think they're called Manic bindings. And they were magnesium metal-based binding, which you really don't want to use magnesium in the base of your bindings. It tends to crack more than aluminum. And these things sat about this high, like seriously, about an inch high, and they had 4 coil-over suspension on each corner of it, and then this thick foam, and it was designed to dampen the ride. And it was started by, I think he was an aerospace engineer. It was an old white guy. It's always old white guys. It's always fucking old white guys. They're the fucking worst. And you think he was like in his mid-50s, if not early 60s. And they dumped a lot of money into SIA to get the booth like right dead center of the hallway, so all 4 ways. So you basically had to walk through it. And I remember at first they were heavy as fuck. The straps were shit. But I remember just being like, and the price, I think they were charging $600, if I remember correctly, for a binding. It was like $600, which is funny because I sit here with a set with 3 sets of fucking Rome Black labels at $550. And but I remember saying, I was like, these are just they're just too high of a price. And their big argument was this will dampen the ride and it will help you. And it was basically just to deaden it because these guys were so old, they were feeling the vibrations in their knees. And my response was, why don't you guys just buy an American-made board with more epoxy in it, put a good footbed in your boot, and buy a binding with a dampening pad? Like at the time, K2 was using a lot of Harshmallow and stuff, and be like, there you go. It's going to give you the same fucking thing. Maybe you could hit the exercise bike instead of fucking hitting the lunch buffet. But, to each their own. That was some real craptacular stuff. Okay, Caden Deschamps for the cocaine white Ferrari. I'm getting the red one or black. The Lotus would be white. Ooh, plug the personal shopper. That's right. If you need personal shopping advice, I can do that for you on angrysnowboarderstore.com. You can find me as your personal shopper. For $5, I'll answer a quick question. $10, more in-depth question. $15, I'll fucking walk you through the process. And for $50, you can be a goddamn time vampire, and I will hold your hand and yell at you the whole way through the process. All right. Phil Peacock, go fast, use wax. Get a structure. All right, Phil, you won a medium sticker pack. You know the drill. Email me your address, info@angrysnowboarder, and I will get that in the mail to you, which I think you won some last week, so you should be getting it. That is the medium. Also, if you guys actually have questions and you're trying to get a hold of me, email me info@angrysnowboarder, not Avran@angrysnowboarder.com. I won't answer the emails from Avran@angrysnowboarder.com. Sorry, I just won't. Like, I just don't. But if it comes to info@angrysnowboarder, I try to answer everything. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. MC Rivers, what are the top 5 songs you shred to? It depends on what I'm listening to, but if I'm doing synthwave, Jeremiah Kane's Streets of Neo Angeles, Kavinsky's Night Call, David Hasselhoff's Kung Fury. Yes, David Hasselhoff, Kung Fury, greatest fucking song for the movie Kung Fury. You need to go watch the music video. It's fucking great. He has a mullet and he hangs outside of a Lamborghini. Yeah, so I listened to that. So that would be like my top 3 there. Anything from Dance of the Dead is usually pretty good as well, and Wave Shaper. And then if it's like a pow day, it's always metal on a pow day. So Judas Priest, Painkiller, Motley Crue, Kickstart My Heart, Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle, Slayer, Rain and Blood, and Warrant's Uncle Tom's Cabin. I'm dead serious. Warrant is a fucking underrated band. The fuck are you people hammering downstairs? It's fucking weird. All right. Anyways, okay. Next question. Okay, I think I caught up on those. Michael Nyblom, did you send my sticker pack to Slim, by the way? He won't give me his address. He's scared that I'm going to serve him with a order of protection. Okay. Okay, Bondi, looking to upgrade from a Burton superhero, ride in Australia, so maybe something with wheels? No wheels. No boards with wheels. You want a skateboard? Get a skateboard. No one wheel. One wheels are bad. Okay. James Peterson, did you end up buying your old couch back? No, that thing is like that thing has devils in it from things I've done to snow carnies. I made questionable decisions on that fucking couch. So whoever gets that can deal with whatever baby gravy I left on it. B-Man 1818. I know how old you are from your music. Yeah, I'm 37 years old. Cody M. Why the one wheel hate? Because it's fucking stupid. You seriously need to ask that question? They're fucking dumb. They're like fucking scooters. All right. Let's see. All right. I think we're kind of caught up on questions. Up there. What else we got going on here? Okay. Pro-dish. Party boards. Why K2 party platter over the battalion party wave? It's not directional. The big thing with the party wave is that directional shape. Plus, you got that 3BT in there, which is not for everyone. I personally love how wide that board is with the 3BT. It really just funnels the slush out and shit in there. But overall, the K2 party platter is more versatile of a board. I also like the way that it flexes. It's just you can really springboard that when you load it up because of the camber profile. Okay. Okay. Anyways, if anyone's got questions, you're just tuning in, get them over or down below in the chat box. We're going to try to answer them. And if you super chat, you get a spin of the wheel, which the wheel's being finicky today. I got to go fuck around to that thing. Okay. Oh. Maceo Reynolds. Move into a BC ski resort in a few weeks. That'll be my first time living and working up at a resort. Any advice? You're going to be tempted to hook up with whatever swamp donkey is working for the resort and banging every one of the guys. You're going to be tempted. Don't do it. That's how you get herpes, the clapper, AIDS. It kind of just depends on what year it is. Those are like the three diseases that kind of roll through snow carny housing. Also, you're eventually going to subside on a diet of PBR, or, well, in your case, kokanee, because you're in British Columbia. Kokanee, cheap whiskey, and ramen. Watch yourself, eat healthy, keep that immune system boosted. You don't want to have the fatigues set in or get the whiskey shits when you're in the top shack and you can't poop because there's no poop and you got to go out and poop in the snow and wipe your ass with snow. That fucking hurts. It hurts. You don't want that. So that's another thing. The other thing is, man, if you're there to work and shred, make sure you're there to work and shred, not work and party. The party lifestyle tends to get people. Also, ski resort town Coke is pretty much 90% baby laxative. You will shit yourself, so watch yourself with that. Or it's laced with fentanyl and you'll just die. Sometimes you get lucky and it's only laced with speed, and then you're and by speed I mean trucker meth, and you're basically very productive for like 3 days before you come down, but that'll do some damage to you. So really watch yourself with that. Otherwise, expect the cost of living to be a little more expensive. The resort will lie to you when they told you that they gave you that you're going to be able to shred 100 days. What they're not telling you is that's 3 laps a day, and that's pretty much every time you're going from the top of the chairlift down, depending on what you're doing. But basically, the resort owns you. Be prepared for that. That's about everything I can get you. And avoid the clap. It's good life advice. Okay. Waco wants a super chat of the wheel. Shit. What do we got? We got a jumbo sticker pack. So email me info@angrysnowboarder with your mailing address, and I will get that to you in the mail. It'll probably go out tomorrow if I make it to the post office. I fucking hate that place. Fucking carnies. Okay, Evan Hill, any thoughts on how bad lift lines will be at big resorts with COVID protocols? I'm worried it's going to cluster into Disneyland-style lines waiting 3 hours to get on the... So physically, the lines are going to look longer because you're going to be socially distanced. just be prepared for that. But there's actually going to be less people on the mountain, so the lift lines are going to be longer, but they're going to be moving more smoothly, if anything, because they're going to be trying to, basically you're not going to have dumbass motherfuckers that don't know how to get on a chairlift getting on with strangers that do, and then they're getting the cluster fucking knocked all over. Those dumbasses are just getting pushed out and fed to the fucking wolves. And if they get knocked over, everyone's going to call them out, and they're going to be like, oh my God, I got to do this good. And then they're going to hate it, and then they're going to leave, and they're never going to come back, and that's less people on the mountain. So realistically, I think holiday weekends, yeah, it'll probably be busy. If you can set up your schedule around going midweek and stuff, I think you're probably going to be totally fucking fine. Like, in all honesty, when A Basin reopened and was on the reservation system, I went 2 days. I never waited in line, even with the chairlift stopping. Like, the pallet chair at A Basin actually broke down for about 3 minutes, and I was able to, I could see it, and I was coming down, and by the time I actually made it to the front of the line, the chair was running again. So I think you're actually going to be fine. Yeah. Okay, Michael Kulik. Prism High Pink better in flat low light than Chroma Pop Rose Flash. Have light sensitive blue eyes if that helps. I have light sensitive blue eyes. I use that High Pink for everything. So I think personally for me that was like my favorite lens. Like I need to go buy another one for my goggles and replace the one that I destroyed for that video. I think you'll actually be fine with that. All right, what else we got here? Okay. Adol, which bindings would you recommend for the Arbor Annex? I'm looking at the Genesis X, Flux XF, and Union Felkers, but I'm open to anything. The Genesis X might be a little too stiff for that. The regular Genesis might just be fine with it. Otherwise, the Flux XF is fine. The Union Felkor is fine. For that binding, for the binding for that board, I'd also look at probably the K2 Lean AT. And if you want something with a little more play toe to heel in it, so you can get more power out of it, I'd probably look at it now Recon as well. All right, let's give you a spin. All right, next question gets a spin. All right, okay. Let's see, what do we got here? What do we got here? Okay, James Peterson, what's your take on the best wax for slush? Zardos versus wax. How about the alternative permanent treatments to wax? I forgot the name of it. So you're talking about like the DPS, Phantom, Snow Coat, stuff like that. Basically, a deep structure in the base and dish soap. Little thing of dish soap. And you squirt it on the base of your board, and then you get bubbles following you down the hill. It's fucking great. That's literally it. Structure is that, and the big thing is like making sure that you clean your board in the spring, because you get that weird sludge and all that shit in there. Just a good base clean and just strip it down to nothing is amazing. So yeah, all right. Lose a turn. STCC for the escort next to the gas station. Was that your mom? Next question gets a spin. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, Ivan Drago, 235 pounds, size 162. Yes, standard, good. Yeah, for that weight, you'd be fine on the standard. So you'd be solid for that. I assume you probably have a bigger foot too, which that board's got a wider platform. It's just wider overall. You'll be good. Let's give you a spin of the wheel. Click like, everybody. Remember to click like. All right, where were we? Okay, Michael Dunlap. Looking to upgrade from my thrashed old Burton flight attendant. Like the flight attendant, I have a deal on niche this year. Maelstrom or Hawthorne? The Hawthorne, I haven't ridden it, but it's basically the downgraded version of the Maelstrom. I think coming from a flight attendant, you're better off going with the Maelstrom because I think it's a better board in general. The big thing, though, to note is that taper on it is aggressive. So if you got a size 10, just make sure that it'll fit. Like I think the 57 is really pushing it with a size 10 boot. So an 11, you're not going to fit on there. So just be aware of that with it. Otherwise, I wouldn't look at the Hawthorne. I would look at the Maelstrom for sure. Let's see. Sam Martin, in your reviews, when you're talking about the size of the jumps, are you referring to the distance you cover or the height of the jump? Height of the jump is actually about the same on most things. It's the distance and how it throws you. So when I say I like small, medium, like 10, 15, that's from the end of the lip to the sweet spot right after the knuckle. That's it. So I like, when I say like 25, 35, 45, basically that's from the end of the takeoff to the sweet spot in the knuckle, which is how they actually measure a jump. And I did a test years ago on Instagram where I put a photo of a 43.5-foot jump up from Breckenridge, and I was like, how big is this? And everyone was like, it's 100 feet, it's 80 feet. And I was like, people do not know how to guess how big a jump. Like, most of the time I hit small jumps. Like, I think the biggest jump I hit last year was 20 feet, if that. And I feel like that's fine. I don't need to hit any. I've got nothing left to prove anymore. I don't need to go hit the big line. I don't even need to hit the medium line anymore. I'm just like, whatever. So, yeah. All right. Spencer Tittle, when am I going to see the top 5 reasons to move to North Carolina to shred? I thought I did that one already. I don't know. I'm slowly working my way across the states. The next one's going to be Arizona or Nevada or both. I don't know. I'm working on it. So slowly doing these. Those are like filler ones that I just put out because they're funny and I can just basically pick on stereotypes. Okay. Jeremy Vorse, what's your overall opinion of Signal Snowboard's quality? I saw your review of the Yup and ordered one. I rode it once at Timberline this summer and loved the few runs I got. I heard 2 others also. Their quality, so they're made at the Mawson factory, which is the same place that makes Endeavor and a few other brands. So their boards are actually quality. Boards are designed well. I've ridden a few of their boards. I really like the Yup. That's probably my personal favorite from them right now. That thing is just an amazing board in general. Bummed you only got 1 day on it. Because I think by about the 3rd or 4th day, you start realizing like what you can really do on it and how much fun it truthfully is. So but overall, Signal's got decent quality. I like their subscription model. They finally figured out how to make it like really work. And I like look at it and I'm like, this makes total sense to me. So need some water. Been talking for an hour and a half. It's fucking aggressive. Caden Deschamps, any major changes to the 2021 simulator? No. It's the graphic. They went all black, and I think they put an extruded base on it. I think that's really it. Nothing much. One nation under nothing. Spin the wheel. Here we go. We're doing this. Thank you, VIP. All right. All right. One nation under nothing. When will we see a top 5 reasons the good ride sucks? It wouldn't be a top 5. It'd probably be like top 50. It's the fucking worst. Also, if anyone wants a really good laugh, I think it's the Battalion Party Wave review of theirs. They fucking just come across as morons. Then the chick that reviewed the K2 Party Platter from like 2 years ago, she doesn't even know what camber profile it is. And then there's the video. There's one of their videos where they realized they set an asymmetrical board up backwards in the middle of the review, and they just kept filming it and posted it. Like, that just tells you how bad it is. Okay, Marcos R., thanks for the awesome content. Thanks for the support. What do we get? What do we get? Oh, where we going? Oh, plug personal shopper. All right, for all you people that need help and advice because you don't have a local shop, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder Store and you can hire me as your personal shopper. $5, I'll answer a quick question. $10, more in depth. 15, I'll walk you through the whole process and make sure you're 100% dialed in. And for $50, I'll hold your hand. And while you're crying that you don't want to buy something, I'll tell you to fucking sack up and do it, Nancy. All right. James Peterson, who's pressing Tellus decks? So Tellus is actually GP87's factory brand. So the GP87 factory, this is like their factory brand. Their Japanese distributor said that they needed to have their own brand, so they created Tellus. So it's their molds, it's everything like that. Boards are super solid. They're designed by Eric Luthart, who's worked for Ride, Flow, I think Smokin' at one point. He's worked for a magnitude of brands and helped design for others and stuff. Dude's a fucking genius with side cuts. Like he's really, really a genius with those. So yeah. All right. Okay, what else we got going on here? Sam Martin, any advice for starting to go bigger for jumps? So what you want to do for going bigger on jumps is it's a whole confidence issue. What you need to do is go back to basics, straight airs, and watch people hit the jump, gauge their speed, then you're going to gauge your speed on it. And if you need to, the first couple times, go down full speed and then side slip up the lip and come back down. And that's going to give you the idea of how much speed you need in the flat before you start to go up the lip in there. And if you're really brave and you've got good knees, this is how we used to do it because we didn't have bigger jumps when I was a kid. We just overshoot the smaller jumps, figure out where there was some kind of a transition to land on, and figure out how far we could go past it. So like when Marcus and I were growing up in New York, I think the biggest jump we probably had was 40 feet if we were lucky. And he would need, to get extra rotations, he would need probably about another 10 to 15, maybe 20 feet. So we would just start overshooting jumps and taking them to flat, which probably why we broke a lot of tails on boards. But I don't fully recommend that, but you can. But the big thing is back to basics, straight airs, and just getting comfortable hitting stuff that way. So, yeah. Okay, what do we got here? James Peterson, great job on the goggle video. Thank you. That was a labor of love that took way too long. Remember to subscribe, people. Remember to subscribe. Okay. Ian Hart, thanks for the killer content. Have you tried the Rome Cleaver yet? I haven't. And what is this? No, that's the Vice. I think there's a cleaver over there somewhere. So it's on the list of stuff to ride. I think we're probably about 2 weeks away from preseason conditions. Preseason conditions are fine for testing bindings because you really don't give a fuck because you're just like in and out, in and out, in and out, and that's what you really want to see. So I'm going to hopefully start cranking binding reviews in like 2 weeks, maybe 3, and get those taken care of for you. What do we got? Remember to vote, people. Elections are coming. Got to vote. Do your part. Okay, MC Brewers. Binding recommendations for the Maelstrom and the Warpig. For the Warpig, I would go with something a little more soft and playful. So if you're looking at Ride, that would be like your A or C4 binding. I would probably go with the A4. It'll be just way more playful in there. I'd also look at the K2 lineup, the Union Contact Pro, and maybe the Now Times Yes binding because I like the way the tweakability is on that. For the Maelstrom, you'd want something that's a little more power and precision based. So I would look at a Now Drive. If that's going to be too stiff, then you could bump down to a Recon, Burton Cartel, or a Genesis. I wouldn't do the Cartel X, and I don't think the Genesis X is what you really want on there. You could do like a Ride 8, either an 8 or a 10, and I would probably go with like the C series in that. It's a little more rigid. Or you could even throw a Union Atlas on that. So I think that gave you a few options. Well, all right. It bounced back. You just won a jumbo sticker pack. So email me, info@angrysnowboarder. com, and I will get that in the mail to you. Just make sure you put your address in there so that I can get that into you. Yeah, and yeah, thanks for the support. Okay. All right. Okay, Rodrigo Marcondes. I ride a Burton Flying V and I've had the board for 2 years already since I go to college, aka I'm broke. Do you think a new board would have a big impact on my riding experience or not really? Oh my god, fucking Flying V is the garbage. That profile's so fucking loose. Oh my god, it's the worst. It's the fucking worst. Yes, if you got something that was even cam rocker, you're gonna learn how to have precision based drive. You're gonna understand what pop really is. You're gonna be able to perform so much different. That profile, yeah, it's great for learning on, and that's about where it ends. After that, it's just like, oh my god, why did I fucking ride this? Why did I ride this? Yes, definitely, definitely, you want to get a different board. Okay, Jack Ripper with the 666. Satan is #1 super chat. Hail Satan! Listen to Slayer. All right, next question gets a spin. All right, what do we got here? All right, let's see. One Nation Under Nothing. What's the better daily driver? Roswell Gypsy HD or the Smoking Asymmetrical Traditional Camber? Smoking Asymmetrical Traditional Camber is the better board out of those two. It's a little more playful. It's not as aggressive as the Gypsy HD. And that asymmetrical side cut is literally one of the best asymmetrical side cuts I have ever ridden in my life. That thing just grips and you can just lay a trench on it with such minimal effort. That is the first time I ever rode that, and it had the TTX or whatever it is, where it was like they claim that there's like a flex point between the feet in there, but that was literally one of the best when I rode it. The problem with smoking is if you order direct, there's no guarantee you're going to get it. Like Jay's kind of been fucking up the last 2 years with getting product out there and doing stuff, and unfortunately, as much as I would like to support him because I like Jay, it's so questionable because people don't get product. And unfortunately, like I just can't endorse that. So let's give you a spin of the wheel. Oh, well, where are we going? Oh, there you go. Whew. You get a jumbo sticker pack. So email me with your address, info@angrysnowboarder.com, and we're going to get that out to you. All right, got that written down, and let's see what else we got going on here. Okay, Bryson Hubert. When will companies start doing measurements at the inserts instead of the waist? So I've been working on this for a while, and I'm slowly getting it in people's ears. So Marhar's doing it, Nidecker's doing it, a bunch of the Euro brands are starting to do it, and I think theoretically we're gonna start to see it in probably the next year or two. Like I've been creeping in the marketing people's ears. I'm like, you need to put this in their ears. You know, I'm just like creepy Joe Biden up behind them, rubbing their shoulders, just like, yes, do it. So, you know, actually, I'm more like creepy Nicolas Cage from City of Gods or whatever it is, or the one with Meg Ryan, where I'm just like touching the people. I'm just like, yes, do it. Excellent. So I expect to see that soon. All right. Well, jumbo sticker pack for you, sir. Jumbo sticker pack. So there we go. I have your address, which you should have got your VIP package, hopefully, already. So, yeah. Okay, healthy snowboard. Avran, what are your thoughts on the snowboard addiction trampoline board? I've been using it a ton at Woodward Copper, and I feel like it's really helping with my airworthiness. Those things are actually fun. I mean, I don't even know if you necessarily need the snowboard addiction one. I think you can actually find them on Amazon for probably, I think, like a little bit cheaper. But the tramp boards themselves, like I've used them a bunch when I would go to Woodward. They really do help you when you're bouncing because then you've got your feet in that stance, you know, and you just versus like two legs flopping around. I think that they really work. Those were instrumental in me figuring out Miller flips because then I had something to grab. So I would bounce. This was at Woodward at Copper, the two back trampolines. There's that perfect spacing. There's like the super tramp, and then there's the other two. And we put the big foam block in there, the big jungle gym block, gymnast block, or whatever it was. And then I put the triangle piece in the middle, and then I could bounce, grab the triangle piece, and do the Miller flip and bring it around, hit the other one, bounce, and then come back the other way. And that was really, really, truthfully instrumental for me. So, yeah. Bottle and Cork, Meg Ryan's best work is You've Got Mail. Also, my favorite movie ever. R.I.P. L. Stacker's Adventures. Rest in peace. This wouldn't be a live stream without an R.I.P. L. Stacker. Remember to vote, people. So your PSAs from me. One Nation Under Nothing. If I saw you at the liquor store you work at and randomly walked up and gave you $5, would you do an in-person super chat? I don't work at the liquor store anymore. I got fired. You tell one little Corona Karen girl that's having a fucking mental breakdown to get the fuck out of the store, and she just starts making accusations that you sexually accosted her or some shit, and they had to watch the review footage, and they're like, he didn't even literally get up off his seat and just told her to get the fuck out. So, yeah, I got fired. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I'm over it. I make way more money from angry. Okay. Let's see. All right. All right. Jack Ripper, the Buckhouse character on the goggle video is hilarious. That's Jimmy Fuckhouse. You will see more of him with his Justin Bieber haircut. So, good old Jimmy Fuckhouse. It needed to be said, dude. Buckhouse is straight grifting, people. That's what it is. I mean, I get it. He's stoked on snowboarding, but at the end of the day, he literally is making kooks. He's a kook factory. Like, that's what it is. It's sad. Like, I loved his whole, like, poor me, I got stopped on fucking going fast in a slow zone on a Saturday. Yeah, dipshit, we've all gotten busted there. That's where I got my pass pulled. Like, 12 years ago. Because I'm a fucking G and I do things first. Ugh. Okay. Where were we? We're caught up on those. Shreds McFresh, you might have covered this already. Did you have a chance to review any of this coming year's boards? There's 33 board reviews for 2021. If you want to go look at it, go right ahead to the board reviews playlist. And just click play all. It's a solid like 12 hours of content. Ugh, S2000 guy. Where the hell is the video of you snuffing out the dude at the liquor store? Let's see. Fuck it, I don't work there anymore. They can't tell me not to show it. Where is it? That's not it. This is a really bad one. Yeah, this is really bad. This is really, really bad. Fuck. Come on. You fucking pile of suck. Anyways. And this is a bad angle. There's a better angle where you can actually see me put my finger in his eye. Fucking done, old man. So, fuck that guy. He got a harassment charge, a mask ordinance charge, a trespass charge, and I towed his car. And he waited a day or 2 days to get it out, which I think it cost him like $480 to get that fucking thing out. So, and I have his driver's license plate too. So, yeah, fuck that guy. All right, let's see. All right. Jack Ripper, Satan approves of your takedown methods. Damn right, Satan approves. Put my fucking finger behind the guy's eye. Seriously, if you ever need to subdue someone, a finger in the eye will do it. Just throw punches are great, but a finger in the eye, it does works. And remember to support the Angry Snowboarder personal shopper on angrysnowboarderstore.com, as the wheel says. So yeah, all right. I actually have that video from a different angle, and it's fucking hilarious because you watch his brother-in-law just stand there and go, and his nephew like takes 2 steps, and I just look at him with and I've got my hand over the guy's mouth and like this, and I got this finger just like fish hooked into his eye, like to the second knuckle behind it, and I just look at the kid and I'm like, come any closer, he loses an eyeball. Like I could have just scooped his eye and popped it right out. So yeah. So, Cody, bruh, without Buckhouse, I wouldn't have an endless supply of School Marm videos, though. Yeah, cool. Side hits on School Marm. Dude, School Marm hasn't had good side hits since my friend JR wasn't the Night Cat delivery guy. So my friend used to drive the Night Cat to do all the deliveries for the restaurants and shit on the mountain. And so he'd go down School Marm and he would drop the tiller and he would build lips on the side. Like literally the one time he got yelled at for this, but he dropped the tiller too hard and he pushed it up and he built this fucking, I don't know, it was like 6 foot wide loading dock wedge, and on the backside it was just chopped out, and that thing would just shoot you, and it was right on one of the drops at the top. So you just hit that thing Mach 10. There was no stopping. You were just like, it's like it was just like a man-made cliff drop, just, and you're gone. Miss those days. I always wondered where JR is, and I assume he's playing hockey with a mullet and driving a Camaro. And not a new one, like an 87 IROC. So, what are you going to do, right? All right. Okay, where were we? Drew Wickman, what kind of music do you ride to? The kind that I like. A lot of synthwave these days. Or 80s hair metal. A lot of 80s hair metal. I don't care what anyone says. Cinderella, Poison, Warrant. They're all good bands. I even like Def Leppard. All right, let's see what we got here. Person here, did Superfan and Alan Russell teach you that takedown? No, that takedown is from years of experience of taking people down. You want to do it with the least amount of force possible. Seriously, a finger in the eye does so much damage. It incapacitates them because they're basically going blind and they're freaking the fuck out. So like he got him. And the best part was like after I had my hand over his mouth, I slipped him into a full chokehold. Didn't even grab the other arm and was just tweaking him and he was choking. And I was just like, and then he came back for more that night. That was the funny thing. He came back and wanted to fight me again, but he got my coworker. My coworker's like, dude, he kicked your ass with no effort. And he's like, I could take him. And my coworker's like, literally, he's one of the angriest people I know with a lot of pent-up aggression that does nothing but go to the gym and throw weights. He's going to hurt you. And the dude came back the next day, and I guess he tried to fight, like, the manager or some shit. And I was like, this guy's just fucking losing all over. Fuck that guy. Hopefully he gets rectal cancer. Okay. Okay. Anyways, been here an hour, 45 minutes. People are starting to wane off. I think we're hitting the end of this live stream. So if you got questions, get them in the chat box. I'm going to give it a few more minutes, try to get that stuff answered. If you guys super chat, want to spin in the wheel or whatever, we'll do that as well. Otherwise, thanks for supporting me, guys. Remember, check out that goggle video if you haven't already. That thing is a fucking magnum opus to shit goggles. Like, I fucking love it. Like, that video. And I'm still not even happy with how I edited it. Like, I could have done better, but I was tired. So, yeah. Shreds McFresh, so it's not the reviews, but did you get a chance to try the full camber jackpot for this year? I haven't. That is one of the first boards I should be grabbing from my local rep, Petey. And I should hopefully have something for that maybe by November. So, yeah. Sam Martin, any thoughts on the new LibTech Terrain Wrecker? The Terrain Wrecker is a good board. I mean, for what it is, like the name is apt for it. Is it an end-all, be-all? No. Does it get the job done? Yes. It's solid. So, yep. All right. Anyways, looks like we're not really getting more questions, so I'm definitely going to call it. So, remember, check out that goggle video if you haven't. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out. If you really want to support us because you really like that goggle video, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. Those guys are the MVPs that made that video actually happen. Plus, it helps us do other projects around here. New top 5 next Wednesday. New explained video on Monday. Got some other stuff in the works for you guys down the road. Probably do a live stream next Thursday as well. So you got that to look forward to. I think Thursdays are going to kind of generally be the live stream thing. And if you need merchandise, angrysnowboarderstore.com has a plethora of it for you to choose from. So, yeah. And for anyone that's asking if I do accept ideas for merchandise, you can always try to shoot it by me, info@angrysnowboarder. Throw it in there. That might be something that I used. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you in another video.